Hi Mavericks, this is Teddy LaRose. Today we're doing a really short video for pizza dough for Rosey's Pizza. This dough is really versatile, however, so like if you're somebody with children or you have a full-time job or you kind of like don't like to spend a lot of time in the kitchen or it's too hot or you just like don't want to, this is something that apparently you can make in advance. So I've read up on this. We're going to do a Maverick on it. I haven't ever quite done it like this before. So we're all doing this together as Maverick. I look at recipes and I immediately changed it, so you know, it's that reliable. What we've done here is we put a couple of cups of water that are about 110 degrees, not hotter. So when you put your finger into that water, it'll feel warm but not hot. Just barely warmer than your finger, almost like not. You don't want it too warm, or the yeast won't be happy and will die. Here's the yeast, one package. Unlike other recipes, the people who wrote this one up said, no worries, doesn't have to be completely dissolved. I mean, this is like, you know, we'll see. Here's a nice flour. This is kind of an all-purpose flour. I really like it. It's a malted flour. You know, just choose a flour that's a high grade, not whole wheat. Try a little white. That's what we're doing here. And then the idea here is to do the scoop and smooth, not press. Just smooth it off so you have a pretty even thing, not pressed, and also not sifted. We're going to do 4 of those. You see, I'm just doing it right here in the bag, no extra doodads. Yes, I'm counting, I think. There. Now, and a little salt. 1 teaspoon. That ought to be good. There's no sweetener in this dough. It's something that you could put in. But I think because of their particular angle, we're not going to. It's sort of like a classic French boule type of recipe. So 1 teaspoon, coarse. That's, if you have finer, don't use that much. All right, there you go. That's it. That's all the ingredients there are. And then all you're supposed to do is mix it together. So you don't even, no kneading, no need to knead. Okay? Can you see that from there? So if you have a spatula, which I highly recommend, use it. You won't get your hands all itchy. However, if it doesn't really want to mix, then you might need to get your hands in there. Get them a little wet first, or you're going to get dough glued to yourself. But it's looking pretty good, see? There we go. Now, see, it's just mixed. There's no kneading, just barely, you know, just enough to get the dry ingredients moist is the idea. Then you just put a lid on this and let it sit here for 2 hours. They said 2 to 5 hours depending on temperature. Today, you know, walloping hot probably go faster. So I'm going to leave this for 2 hours and then put it in the fridge overnight. That's what I'm going to do. They said at least 3 hours in the fridge before you want to use it because it's so sticky and all. I'm going to put it in a bowl about this size. No worrying about like doubling in bulk or anything, just nothing. You just do this for 2 hours, stick it in this thing, stick it in the fridge overnight. Tomorrow we'll come back and see how you did. Love you! Hi guys! Carrying forward on Rosey's Pizza. We did some dough yesterday, no need to knead. We put it in the fridge and we just now got it out about 24 hours later. And check it out. Yeast is fine. Woo, okay? You know, so be sure to give yourself enough of a bowl. There's that. There's that. Now, what we want to do, we're not going to use all of this because we're going to make kind of mini pizzas. There's 2 ways you can go with dealing with the dough. You can flour your hands and get flour everywhere and la-di-da, because it will stick if you don't do something. But we're going to use oil, and since we have to oil the pans anyway, the trays here, we're just going to get ourselves oily at the same time. fill the pan up. Someone comes and moves the pans for you, or you get them all oily. Someone comes and moves the pans for you. That's someone to come here and move these pans. See, like this, over here. Yeah, so that's somebody there. Okay, now we're gonna see about this, because this is a Maverick. So oily hands are good. And we're just going to gather it all together. Push it. That's all. No need. Okay, so what we're going to do is not use this amount, all of it. It's about 4 cups of flour, etc. If you want to, you can watch the video. We're going to take half of it. They say use a knife, but I say to use a knife. So I'm not going to. Check. Okay, now we're going to want this little guy to be in 4 pieces. I can take it now. And they said don't even like roll it out. So we divide this into 4. There'll be different sizes. That can be handy. It was last time. Some people want a huge one. Okay. These two will sit over here. Now I'm just going to do 1. And then we'll set it aside for about 40 minutes while we do the sauce. Okay, see how nice? There's lots of oil. And all they said to do was like make a round like this, press it flat, and keep pulling on the sides. Just keep like every quarter turn and pull. Kind of a good way to do it. Not a bad way. Or if you feel ambitious and you've got enough oil on your hands, but apparently that's not enough oil on your hands. Yeah, I tossed it. In another video you can watch me toss. In this case it said no worries. It's very cold, by the way, this dough. But it also means that it can be a softer dough, in other words, a stickier dough, and easier to work, therefore, when cold. When hot, it wouldn't work at all. Okay, so I'm going to get it on the tray there, and I'm just going to push it out so that it looks like a pizza. Like last time I did it a little indented in the middle, so that when you put the sauce, you had a place to go. That's what they'll look like. I'll do 4. We'll get back. Hi guys, we just tried the oily thing and it doesn't work. In other words, it was so sticky that it was sticking to the tray, and I think it would have stuck to the tray throughout. So we're going to what they suggested, which is a little flour. Get some on your hands, and it'll be naturally there on the thing. You can dip it a little. You're not trying to add more flour, you're just trying to keep it from being so stuck to that's working. Then you can also do this. This can take some practice, but I like it. But mainly, it's just sort of pull it out. You don't have to roll it out, just pull it out until you got sort of a round. I see this is going to be a slight learning curve, even for someone who should know how to do this. I'm going to make it about like that, and then I'm going to plop it down on the tray and make the shape. And because it has oiled tray and the flour, we shouldn't have a problem. Okay, take 2 is over. We'll see you soon.